Taking care of them. I want to start with Brenda. Brenda, would you come up? And we're going to do that right now. So give attention to Brenda, and then Amanda. Yeah, there she is. Come on up and get ready.
Well, I'm very happy to be asked this morning to give a word of praise to the Lord for what He's done for me. Mom brought us to church as kids from the time we were little, so I grew up in church. But when I got married, I kind of got away from it, had 3 children and was kind of distracted by life. So I did get away. But then after my 3rd child was born, he was just a little toddler, I started having such severe anxiety attacks that I could not leave my house. It was so bad. I could not watch television. I couldn't read. Anything would start an attack. So it was hard for me to take care of my family. The children, the 2 oldest, were going to church at that time. The church bus would come by and pick them up every Sunday morning. And the church pastor or the bus pastor came by at least once a month and invited me to church. And of course, I always had an excuse not to go. That was my time. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to give it up. But these anxiety attacks got so bad that I just felt in my heart the Lord saying, I want you to come back. So one Sunday morning I did. I went back to church. I took my little white Bible that I had gotten for Easter many years ago, and I sat in the back of the church, and I was flipping through my Bible, just talking to God. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I felt the Lord talking to me and saying, Brenda, I want you back. And I felt in my heart that's what I needed. So the Lord and I had a conversation, and I got right with Him right then and there. The only thing was, back in those days, ladies, do you remember when we had to wear dresses and skirts and all that stuff when we came to church? Well, I had a skirt. That was it. I was wearing it that day. And I told the Lord that, well, okay, I'll come. And I'll wear that skirt every single Sunday, but I really don't want to, but I will. And I'm flipping through the Bible this whole time. And at that point, my eyes went down to the Bible, and I was at Matthew 6, and I looked at verse 28, and I started reading it. It caught my attention. It says, and why do you worry about clothes? See how the lilies of the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will He not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? I said, okay, God, maybe that's meant for me. So I went home, and then that very next week, my friend called me up on the phone, and she says, Brenda, I'm cleaning out my closet. I have a lot of clothes. You want them? I said, sure, I do. That started 20 years of getting, I did not have to buy a thing for 20 years. God clothed me like the lilies of the field.
Praise God. Praise God.
Just to tell you what a sense of humor He has. A couple weeks after that, my next door neighbor called me up, and she says, Brenda, my daughter is going to be in rehab for 6 months. She's got a closet full of clothes. You want to wear them while she's in rehab? Really? But God would do that, So He's like saying, yep, it was me. It was me. He is so good. And not only that, I just want to tell you that from that day I went back to church, I didn't have another anxiety attack.
Wow.
That was
Praise
it.
God.
God is so good.